Hi everyone, MJ, aka Silver Moon Tarot and Astrology. I'm sorry for removing the Aries and Taurus videos, feeling it was not up to a standard that I strive for to help others. Plus my own personal energy being off, I felt it was best to take them down. My purpose for this channel is not the quantity, but the quality that is uploaded. Most, if I feel my energy is not in a good place, and it's best to do nothing. Okay, let's discuss what is happening with us at this time of the lunar eclipse in Taurus. For each of us, it will affect different areas of our lives, depending on the house in which it occurs. Let's begin on what was and where we are heading. Transformation. We have all been going through this from the time we were born. Change does happen throughout life. It just occurs at different times and can last many years. The question we must ask ourselves is the what, where, and how. The why is to force us into becoming better versions of ourselves in relationships and society on this planet that we share with others. In doing so, we must be good stewards and caretakers of the environment around us. This includes people, animals, resources, and earth. We all come into the world with nothing, and nothing leaves this world with us, not fame and fortune, family or friends, or food and possessions. Even our body remains behind to return to whence it came. Transformation is all about the authority, power, and control over only ourselves. Each of us is created differently but equally. We all have opinions, thoughts, and ideals how things should be, but it doesn't mean we have to agree. But by sharing and assisting each other, we can make the world a better place to live. After each transformation of our life, we are reborn into being a better person of our old self. There is a new beginning, a completeness that is going to take place, and it will only be the characteristics of love that will help us through to the end of our life as we know it. So I will go ahead now and start beginning to do the astrology and give the tarot cards that I see for the energy of each sign. I'll try and keep it simple. I'll try and stay focused on just the house of where that's coming from for each and every sign. So if you will hang with me today, we'll see how it goes. So let's begin for each sign. What's going to take place? Before I begin doing the astrology for each sign, I want to discuss the energies of the planets from the sun all the way through to Saturn for that day and what their energies will be. Saturn, which will be ruling the day because that will be on a Saturday. Saturn deals with where you learn to operate within the limitations of society, responsibility and rules, fears, obstructions, limitations, father, the teacher. Its energy will be one due to its resting. It doesn't have much energy. It is still retrograde. It will not go stationary to the 1st of November. Jupiter, which is the planet of a personal expansion process of your realm and horizons, this house brings good fortune and luck, the house of optimism, confidence, and pride. But its energy is going to be at a -5 because it too is retrograde. And it still has, I believe it's 63 days and 6 hours of retrograde to go before it goes direct. The next one will be Mars. Mars is about courage and the ability to take action, desire, and nature, and aggressive drives. Sign shows how you go out after values and survival. The house is where you concentrate this energy. So I'll be letting you know on each one of these. And Mars is going to be at an 8. Its energy is the highest of the whole day. It will be very intense. So Mars, we're going to have to be very careful about our ability to take action. Also questioning our desires and aggressive drives that we have. And also maybe check our values and how we're going to survive something at this time. And what are you really concentrating your energy toward there? The next one is the sun. Its energy will be a -5. It's all about our inner personal purpose, our inner drive and energy, the source of will and motivation, sense of confidence, strength, individuality, and creativity. And it will only be at a -5. So there won't be a whole lot of energy there to get something done. And it, like I said, it may be very aggressive that day because of Mars. It could be a lot of agitation of not being able to get things done. Venus, she'll be 0 degrees, but overnight between 1, and these are all my times, Eastern Standard Times, when I give you a time, you'd have to do for yourself on yours, between 1:07 a.m. to 2:12 a.m., she will drop to a -3. So your capacity to love and your values is what Venus is all about. The sign shows your attitudes and needs in love. House shows what you value most and attract to yourself. Refinement. Money can either be gained or lost during this time. The next one is Mercury. Mercury being the planet of the concrete and the conscious mind. The sign and house shows how and where you communicate and assimilate the results of your relationships. It's about reason and logic. And Mercury's going to be at a -5, so communication may not be good. The last thing we have is the moon. And the moon is how we express our purpose in everyday activities through our emotions, attitudes, habits, general moods, how you adapt to your environment. And it's also about the mother. And it will be at a +4 most of the early day up until in the evening, my time again, Eastern Standard Time. From 7:40 p.m. to 4:23 a.m., it will increase from a 4 to a 7 during those hours I just told you. 7:40 p.m. to 4:23 a.m. So when I talk about the houses and I say where this is, you can refer back to this to note that what each one and what it will be for you. Okay? I just want to go for that so we can go ahead and get that out of the way when I start showing what houses the lunar eclipse will be for each sign. All right. I also want to add to this that the moon in its energy being so high is because it's exalted in Taurus. But the ruler of this eclipse is going to be Venus. With Venus having the strength at 0 for most of the day into the early morning hours, like I said, those times I said, we will feel that need of in that relation with Venus about our capacity to love and our values and our attitude and needs in love. Be a focus there. And remember what I said about the house will show when the house that is going to be for each sign is what you value most and attract to yourself. Again, this could be dealing a lot with money and gains and loss. Okay? Because the opposition to that is going to be Scorpio. And Mars is going to be very, very intense there. The energy on this day will be intense about what we desire. So I'll talk about more on that when I get into each sign and how it will be for each sign. Okay, let's take a close look at where this lunar eclipse is going to take place. You can see here it's in this area with Russia and South Africa, or Africa. I don't know why I said South Africa. I guess I was thinking of South America. But it will be taking a lot going on over in this area. And we know what already is going on in this area. And remember I said about the energy of Mars being so intense and the war that's going on there. And these Arab nations and Israel and Egypt and this impact is going to, it's going to be really, really intense in this area. So our focus may be a lot toward what we hear of what's happening. But this eclipse is going to have this effect here. Now you can see as the bands, I hope you can see these pretty good, but as it goes out, that means there will be less effect or less visibility on this. Let's go over now. So let's look at where it starts in that area. and it will go straight over, and you can see it's doing the eclipse, and there's a little portion there, as you can see at the bottom, and as it goes over Africa, it will go back to its illumination again. Again, you see at the bottom right here, there will be that uh, darkness, more intense energy at the bottom of the moon. It'll just be touching it, but you can see in the area where it's taking place. And again, the bands, you can see how they lighten, will be the visibility of those areas of what can see. It's only going to touch in the United States, here in Canada, and part of South America. It will be intense somewhere. It can be in here, be seen really well. As far as the United States, it looks like it comes through that area of South Carolina up through this part up in here, where we'll see. You can do that. Sorry about that. Where what's occurring here. So I'll let you just kind of look at it for a minute and visualize it and see what is going on here. Hey, Leos. Let's see what this eclipse is going to be for you. Okay. I've already laid the cards out. I do have 3 outcome cards here I've not looked at. I do not have any idea what they are. I kind of like to be surprised as well as you. I do have your Oracle of Wisdom, which speaks about spirit, whatever you have prayed for, or what you've been asking for from the divine, what spirit is letting you know on your prayers. I also have the cards, and you just happen to get 3 moon cards. I'll let come what comes. And so it must have been very important for you here. But as far as emotions wise with this moon, for you, this moon is dealing with your 10th house and your 4th house. The 10th house being your area is the cardinal. It's Capricorn. Taurus is fixed. But it's about your career, your reputation, and your professional achievements, your moral condition, direction, life goals, prestige, and position. Your 4th house, which is just opposite of that, deals with emotional home and nurturing, especially mother. Family roots and foundation, supporting you in your activities, affairs at the end of life. Okay. The 2 signs that are dealing with here in your area of the 10th house is Taurus. It's a fixed energy. I don't know, you could have that in your chart. It could be how you feel about things. It's like, when I say fixed energy, what I mean is you can be stubborn in some way that this is the way it is. And this may not be good for you. And then your 4th house is ruled by Scorpio, which is the home. You could have that in your chart. I don't know. But it's what you feel in some areas. The 4th house is what we feel. If we feel like we're being controlled and dominated in our homes, and we feel that both of these are fixed signs. And it's like it's a balancing act between the two, of what you desired or what you try to accomplish in life here. It's like it's set in stone. There's not everything set in stone except for the 10 Commandments. But this energy is going to be real, real intense. And your Pluto, the external planet out here that is creating the transformation, there's a change taking place. And please go look at the introduction and what I said there and the energies of the planets at the time. The moon is very strong and Mars is very strong. So it's what you feel to what you achieve, or how you communicate, what you feel, what you need from the job, from the career, and that your reputation in the job, in the workforce, and what have you achieved. And it's about those life goals. It's about your position, your prestige. And the moon being there is exaltated. I mean, it's powerful there in Taurus. Whereas Uranus is not. It's in a fall. And Mars being on the other side in Scorpio, even though it is the ruler, co-ruler, because it rules with Pluto. It's desiring something here of change. How do you communicate that, what you feel, and what in the home life, and what you want to relay to the career, and how the two are totally in opposition? I mean, this could be even somewhere, in some ways, you're this way at work, but you're this way at home. Something in your home life is being illuminated for you to see it. We're talking about two illuminators here. The sun in opposition to the moon of what you feel. Something in your home life is about what you feel is being illuminated here. Now, kind of, I got words in my head, something where you feel like you're more in control in the workforce than you are at home. Because Mars is a masculine energy. But there is going to be this sudden change because Venus is ruling all this. And with Venus ruling this and trying Uranus, and Uranus is something about the history, the nature, the history. And when you look at the nature of something, to the history of it, you can almost guarantee you can say what the prophecy of that's going to be. How's it going to go? But it's something of coming to a perfect completion, a transformation, a change, a sudden change. And it's either you're stuck in something you don't want to be stuck in work, because there could be some trauma there. Your philosophy's about something, about work, about the future, because there's something here about with Aries where, what am I feeling here? I'm getting something. That something's coming to a completion. And you're wanting maybe a new beginning at something here. You don't maybe share the same philosophies that in the work environment here. I don't know if you're doing something you don't really like doing. I'm really wondering. You don't feel um I don't want to say there could be some conflict going on here. I will say that. I think you're reviewing and reassessing things here. I still want to say protect your reputation in the workforce because there could be something here where there is something that where you could jeopardize your reputation. I do want to say that. And it may affect you emotionally. It could be a trauma thing for you. But there's something coming from the home that's affecting this. I feel that's really strong. And here in your second house, when it comes to the money situation, or because Venus is about money, Venus is about, and but she's in Virgo right now, and Virgo's about being of service in some way. But there could feel like, don't be a slave to money. I want to say that. Don't put yourself in bondage here or in debt to achieve some sort of status, because that's not good. That could be another trauma thing, something that may be unhealthy, something about your relationship with money that has to change. That if you got the money, then you got the status. That's not true. The biggest thing that can give you status in life is your reputation and your moral condition. Because there's billionaires or whatever, and they're like disgraceful and dishonored. They're not worth a crap. A lot of millionaires, too. Money changes people in a negative way sometimes. But there's something here that's pushing you, or something here in the home life that's pushing you, driving you to do something here. And there's going to be this transformation because it's already been decided. It's going to happen. You don't have any control over it. And this is something's going to be illuminated to you to see something here. You got to see it. You might have been trying to achieve something here that you desired, but you've been going about maybe the wrong way. Because the eighth house is about what you desire, but again, have you been doing it through your faith? If you've been holding on to faith, that things gets better. That maybe you can communicate to the partner or someone here. So you can have that balance. And we've all been out of balance for so long. It's time that the universe says things got to come back into into justice and fairness and balance here. Equality. Not quality, but equality, fairness, equalness. In work relations and your spirituality and in your home and how you feel and how it makes you feel. Because there is going to be the very next day after this lunar eclipse, or this lunar eclipse afterwards, there's going to be some real tension. Saturday, that's Saturday because it's on a Saturday and it's ruled by Saturn. So there's limitations, restrictions, and all this that, that's going to come down when Saturn gets moving, and we can't do things like before. We have to work at something to make it better. And you see here where Mercury is conjoining with Mars. And this could be very aggressive, confrontational, even chaotic, over judgmental, you know. But it's something here that's got to change. And the sun is going to be there. That is your ruling thing, to illuminate something that's not, that there's got to be a sudden change here. And we see with the moon in its exaltation here in Taurus with Jupiter, and these planets, these other planets, are weak. The only one of these outside planets of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus is strong is Uranus, but it's in a fall. It's dishonored because it's opposite of this house. It's exalted here, but over here, it feels dishonored. What changes it makes is not the right one, but it's something in the history, nature, history. It's got to change. And we're talking about the North and the South nodes for the next, I forgot how long they've been there already, but for 18 months. They said when they go into a sign, they're there for 18 months. And it came in at 29, so it was 5 degrees back when it came in. And so something here is going to be a radical change in the communication, thought, the way in the past you used to communicate. It's got to change. There's going to be conflict here in this change. Everybody's going to experience it. Everybody's going to experience it in a different way. In your case, it's going to be in your job and your career, or in your home life. And I feel pretty sure you're going to be illuminating something here about it. Because what we have here, we do have the 3 of Pentacles here. The Pentacles are always real slow. Nothing gets done very quick. I'm looking at this of looks like 2 religious people standing here talking to an artist or somebody very creative, a worker doing the work in the cathedral or in the church, doing some sort of work here. And even, oh God, who did it? My mind just went blank. Who did this? Oh God, who did the 16 chapels? Look how many years it took him to complete something here. And there was always changes. Happening. And it's like showing a plan of something here of how to follow the plan, what was wanted here, what's something here, but it's a slow process, and there's the communication. The next thing we have here, and like I said, that's Capricorn, so that is in your 10th house. Something is going on here, that sort of a radical change, maybe in your faith and in your belief in your about the job and your work. Maybe you're feeling like you're not getting the respect or something that you deserve in the workforce, in your job, in your career that you're doing. Because right here I'm seeing Scorpio energy. And Scorpio is, I just got to saying, the 4th house and the 10th house, and that's where Scorpio lies, in your 4th house. And you see all these cups that are coming down filled with this. What do you want? It's like you're being tempted, uh, and we see this darkness and shadow that figure there. And saying, I'll give you all these things. It's like a temptation. What do you want? Some of it's good, some of it's not good. If you just follow me, if you just come along with me, it's like, oh God. And I do see the 7th house. It's like in partnership being tempted here. But there's rules and stipulations if you accept something here that's dark. The best example I can give to this is when Christ was on the mountain and the devil was there during his 40 days in the desert, and he was tempted, and he was on that, and he tempted him to take the leap off the mountain. You know, God your Father, he'll save you. No, you don't tempt the Lord. Again, where he says he showed him on this cloud, all these kingdoms that he could have, that he could really, if he would just follow him, which was dark and evil. Something here is, again, with this showing your 10th house and your 4th house, it's there's something that's just, I got this uneasy feeling about it. This is in the dark, like you're in the dark about something of work here. And there's temptation here. Or you're being tempted on something here. By something you can't see. It's shrouded in something. And it's the darkness. Now, here we have Aries, which is in your faith and your belief and what you can see. You're grounded here on something on solid ground, concrete. But it's out in the world is unknown. Do I take this wand and the staff and choose this path to go into the world on my own and experience something here? Or do I fall into temptation and just stay where I'm at? Mm, 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 mm. Underneath this, you have the Ace of Cups. And 3 signs already got that today. There's something of the divine handing you something here that says, I'll offer you the waters of life, and that's all I will offer you. The heaven and the earth, above, as above, so below, will be here. I feel like you're torn between two of the world and what is morally right here. That you'll never go thirsty again. You'll never hunger for anything again. You will have peace in your life. Manifesting what you desire here for eternity. Follow my ways of teaching, because the magician is also not a manifester, but he gives you knowledge. And knowledge is the most valuable thing that to anybody. I'll give you all the opportunities to learn everything. And all the resources you need. But you have to separate yourself from something here. Whatever this is, I don't know what it is. Only you do. And the choice you have to make. Do I stay or do I go? You got to make peace with something here, and you've got to make a decision. Do you spiritually follow what spirit is trying to guide you toward? Because this is exactly what that is. Letting spirit guide you away from troubled waters where there is no peace, and into a life where there is peace and harmony. But you've got to make the decision. It's your choice. It will not be forced on you. Not like this is like being forced here. Under demand, under control, under rule. You got to choose. And you will never really be alone here. Never. Because the manifester will be there with you the whole time, guiding you. All you have to do is ask. Your wisdom oracle card, and I bring this out first instead of the 3 lunar cards. Simply because it's got to the sea. And if you look close here, it's almost like you see a spirit there. And what is the number? 7, divine number. You'll never be in here alone. You'll always be guided. You'll always know your north from your south. You'll always have what's guiding you there. You'll come out of that troubled water and have eternal life. What a powerful message for you guys. Because we got, for this lunar eclipse, we got the thunder moon. And you see somebody pushing back, and you see all this electrical energy. To me, and it's talking about change, and that's Uranus, a radical. It's the lightning, almost like the tower moment when the lightning hits the top of the tower. Uranus is known as the god of lightning, electricity. It's charged energy, and you're pushing it, trying to push away from something here. And it's the thunder moon with such force. You're trying to resist something here. And then we have the waning moon, or the waning gibbous. It's self-reflection, looking in that mirror. Again, the waters. You feel like you're drowning. I mean, you're up to your neck in these emotions, and it feels almost like you're suffocating. You don't know which way to go. You see on one side of the mirror here, coming out of it, another one going into it. It's like one trying to stop the other, and then you see the the face of hers where she was facing something, but now she can leave it and be released from it. It's like that hand being pulled out of that emotions, that where you feel drowned. You got to look in the mirror and reflect on here. Where you coming from and where you want to go. And it's also the number 17. This is 8. If you took 3 and 5, it's 8. It's life. It's about life. And 17 is that of victory. Something good coming out of this. And look at here. Acceptance, the waxing moon. And then the 4, number 4, home. Also, good news, restoration, master time. Look at the electrical charge. It's like the hands, something grasping you and pulling you out of something here. Because there's acceptance. You know, it's like Michelangelo and that on the Sixtine Chapel when that's who I was trying to think of. And it's the son to the father, the fingers being pointed, the touching, the electricity between the two of life. Grasping for life here and to be free of something. I forgot to do the other ones first, so I'll take these away for a minute just to bring in the clarifiers here that I forgot to put down. Sorry. I was so lost in this reading. It was so powerful. Again, we got Virgo energy here. What'd I say? Something working on. You're working at something here. But there is Uranus. I'm sorry, not Uranus. There is Pluto there in, no, where am I? This is Virgo energy. It's Venus that's ruling this. The work, being of service. Oh, I want to be of good service and all this. But you're being a slave almost like here. It's like somebody comes in, disrupts your work, wants to make changes. And you're working here. And something here is being illuminated. Oh, you got the 5 of Wands here. There is conflict here. There's all these opinions, all these wands are actions. But it's, you can see they're either playing games or they're throwing their opinions in. It's like a dispute or working around chaos. Nobody's ever satisfied. They all have their own opinions. They all have their own whatever agenda here. And that's your house. That's you. Leo energy there. And then you got the 10 of Pentacles. Again, we're talking about the 8 to the 10. Stability. Where's the stability? And I see a communication here. There's also like an elderly person here. This could be siblings, or it could be spouse. couples, the couple, the elderly parents, the home. I'm getting the feel of I feel more secure at work than I do at home. More stable at work than I do at home. More free at work than I do at home. Again, I'm it's like go to the sea. It's like you got to get away from something here. Something's guiding you in a different direction, and it's to this change, and you've got to reflect on something here. It's going to be difficult, but you got to have the courage to make the change and make the decision. It's your choice. You can either fall in temptation and think it's all about the money and the career and whatever, blah 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 blah. Uh, like I said, I don't even with this channel, I'm not interested in uh, the quantity as I am the quality. Like I said, I could throw a video up here every day, all day long, or whatever. But what is that going to do for my health? And what is that going to do for me? It's not, it's not helping me really any. So, but you got to make the decision. It's your life. It's your free will. Okay, that's all I got for y'all, Leos. Y'all have a wonderful one.